Hey College and Career Success, welcome to your week 8 assignment video. That means after this week we are halfway done with the semester already, which is a little crazy to think about, which I can guess you probably already know what I'm going to say. Let's make sure you get your workshop assignment completed soon. Register for your workshop attendance, submit your certificate of attendance. So this video walks you through what to do or to register. As we get into the second part of the semester, the offerings do start to dwindle, so please make sure that you're taking advantage of the offerings earlier as better. Also, I wanted to make sure that you knew, and this is going to be in the announcements, that after week 8 is spring break. So we have this semester break after the 8th week of the semester. I do have week 9 open up during spring break. If you want to ignore it, feel free to ignore it. But if you want to get a jump start on it, you can go ahead and work on week 9, and then it'll be open during its normally scheduled week after we get back from spring break. So I do want to just make sure that CCP students, if you're in here taking Stark State classes as a high schooler, you follow the Stark State calendar for, I guess, whether that's good or bad. So your spring break will be when our spring break is, and then classes will resume when we come back as well. So just kind of making sure that you know that the spring breaks line up with Stark State's schedule. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Week 8 is very typical to what hopefully you have grown used to. This is over chapter 6, so please make sure you take a look at the chapter 6 lecture video, which walks you through the concepts of the chapter. And then this is a normal, you have a discussion board due by Wednesday for your weekly attendance, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. You have an assignment and then a quiz. So again, everything that hopefully you are just knowing by now to make sure you check off your list. All right, so chapter 6 discussion, pretty straightforward because chapter 6 talks about memory. So it says, take a few minutes to list the ways you create memories on a daily basis. Do you think about how you make memories? Do you do anything that helps you keep track of your memories? So maybe think about, how do you take in information? You know, are you, like, what kind of senses do you use? What kind of experiences? What kind of ways do you track? So think about journaling, pictures, videos, talking, whatever it might be. So think about how you create memories, and that could be talking about just the kinds of things you do on a daily basis, or when things stand out, it's different from your normal routine. Do you kind of ever sit down and think about the memory making process? And then again, that tracking piece, how do you go back and reflect or keep track of memories? All right, your chapter 6 assignment. This is a little different because I'm going to ask you to kind of be honest with yourself. So you're going to open up this PDF, and I want you to time yourself for 30 seconds. And be honest with yourself. So time yourself for 30 seconds on this list of items. Try not to cheat. Don't pause the video, anything like that. When you're done, scroll down so you no longer see them. Again, I am not going to know for sure if you are honest with yourself or not. So I'm just encouraging you to really test yourself, because I'm not going to grade you on number 2, where it says, write as many words down as you can recall. If you want to do that on scrap paper, you can. But my advice is just kind of make sure that top part is covered. So jot down how many words you're able to remember, and then you're going to answer these 3 questions. This is really kind of the meat of what I'm getting at for this assignment. How many words were you able to remember? Maybe you remembered like 7 words. Which words did you forget? And this is where you can scroll back up and look, oh, I forgot X, Y, Z. And then what memory technique did you use to remember? Chapter 6 introduces or refreshes your memory maybe on a lot of memory techniques. It talks about like repetition and mnemonics and rhyming and association and pictures and all those type of things. So what memory technique did you use? So when you go to actually answer those questions, I'm going to kind of just say, like, click on the name of the assignment. It pops those questions up again, and I'm just going to have you do create submission, and you can just type it right there. So it's right there. You don't have to necessarily download or like a Word document and upload it into the Dropbox area. You can just do it right there under create submission, answer those 3 questions. And again, really try to challenge yourself. Try not to look back, see how your memory does, because you're not, again, getting graded on, oh, you only remembered 5 words. That's not the point of this. The point is kind of really getting to the heart of those 3 questions. You know, what memory techniques especially did you use to help you remember? All right, and then finally, you have a chapter 6 quiz. As a reminder, you'll make sure that you're responding in 2 to 5 complete sentences, and make sure you're answering all parts of the question. So question 1, because the chapter talks about memory and It kind of correlates with test taking. And thinking back about your experiences taking tests, what kinds of tests have you taken the most? So think about, have you had to take a lot of multiple choice, fill in the blank, short answer? Do you have a preference? Do you have like a favorite type of test? Do you do better on some kinds than others? And why do you think that might be? Is it the questions or is it the actual course, like the subject matter? And then what kind of test do you think measures your knowledge or gives you the best opportunity to demonstrate knowledge? Question 2 specifically focuses on test anxiety. Have you experienced it? What are your symptoms? Have you tried strategies for managing test anxiety? And if you don't have test anxiety, maybe talk about why that might be. Why don't you have test anxiety? Question 3, just in general, do you think you have a good memory or do you struggle? Are there some things that are easier for you or more difficult for you to remember? Do you use mnemonics? Just kind of talking about your memory skills and how important memory skills will be in your field that you go into. Question 4 talks about studying for college. We talked a little bit about this in a couple things throughout the past few weeks. Is studying in college different than high school? How is the testing process different? What kind of tests did you take in high school versus the test you're taking now in college? And then are you doing well with your test performance? And then question 5 relates to test performance again, but have you ever spent time going over tests you've taken and analyzed kind of your performance? How did you do? And it kind of gives you a bunch of example questions in there. So that's really talking about the reflection part of test taking. So again, when you're done with that as normal, make sure you save it and Dropbox it. So as a quick refresher, make sure you post in your discussion forum by Wednesday, respond to classmates by Sunday, test your memory assignment, Chapter 6 quiz by Sunday as well. Take a look at that workshop assignment, make sure you're getting that completed, and then take advantage of week 9 being open early if you wish. If not, no big deal. Hope everyone has a great spring break. Have fun, be safe, and we'll see you back after spring break.